1, 2, 3, let's go!
Hey, what's up guys, Shashwat here back with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing a phone that comes at the budget of around 12,000 to 14,000. It comes in a gold color, it has a fingerprint sensor on the back, the camera is not really that good and the display is awesome. No, I'm not talking about that one, I am in fact talking about the Eco Le2, the successor to the Eco Le1S. Now this phone generated a lot of hype and I have been using it for over a month now. So is this phone really worth it? Should you get this compared to the other numerous phones at this price? Well, if you want to find out those answers, then you're at the right place. This is the review of Eco Le2. Let's start. Okay, first up, let's talk about one of the biggest things about this phone. The fact that it has a USB Type-C port. Now that might not mean much for some people, it does mean it for me. What that basically means is that this phone uses this advanced technology to charge the phone very quickly. It can also transmit audio through the USB Type-C. Now of course, not a lot of phones have this right now and it's really awesome to see this in budget phones. Now the inclusion of this doesn't affect any other parts of the phone, right? Oh. So this phone does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack. This phone uses the USB Type-C port for all its audio. So if you want to connect your mic or your headphones, you will have to use the USB Type-C jack. Now they have included an adapter for the USB Type-C to the 3.5mm just in case you need it. And along with that, when you buy the phone on Flipkart, you also get some surprisingly good earphones which work with USB Type-C for free. Now this phone has a protruding camera on the back, which for me is a big disadvantage. I hate when phones have this because this way the phone cannot live on a flat surface. And that's really annoying because I really like to eat and let's say text or watch YouTube at the same time. So typing is a bit of a hassle. And on top of that, if you have a protruding camera, why not just make the phone a little bit thicker and insert some good battery, because this phone definitely needs it. Now below the protruding camera there is the fingerprint sensor, which is quite fast and works almost every time. Now the phone is made entirely out of metal and it feels really good in the hand. Unlike some other phones made out of metal, the phone has a good grip and it doesn't feel slippery at all. I don't know how I can describe it, but the phone just has a unique feel in the hand to it and I really dig it. Now the bezels of this phone are really tiny. They are so small that they are almost not present, and honestly saying, it looks really good. You have got to appreciate how good the bezels look and how good the phone looks. When you switch on the display, there are huge black lines all around it. What they did was, instead of having thick bezels, they just had thin bezels and a huge black screen. Now this is actually way more annoying than what bezels would be. The display on this is a 1080p 5.5-inch display, and aside from the bezel problem I just talked about, it looks really good. The colors look really nice and there is not a lot of color inversion considering how cheap this phone is. Now it is a little bit too big for me, but it's not a deal breaker. Now the front camera and the rear camera are pretty good. The front camera is 8 megapixels while the rear camera is 16 megapixels. Now those are very high numbers and the picture quality represents that. The picture quality is very nice. In low light situations, both the cameras don't perform that good, but in real life situations, the pictures are really nice. The camera app is also pretty functional and useful. One of the biggest advantages of the camera app is that you can use the fingerprint to take photos. So in situations where you have to take a selfie, you can just tap this and the photo is taken. Now this is a huge feature and I have used it a lot. Talking about software, Eco does not have the Google stock Android, but instead it has its own skin over it called EUI. Now EUI for the most is not a major disadvantage, the phone runs well with it, but I personally prefer using Google Now Launcher because one, EUI does not have an app tray, so all the apps have to be on the home screen, and two, it's just that I'm used to seeing the Google Now Launcher and I really don't like change. It doesn't have a lot of bloatware. It does have 2 to 3 legal apps, but to be honest, they aren't a big problem. Now the phone comes with Marshmallow inside the box, which is awesome. Now, as I said earlier, the phone is very smooth and performs very nicely. Games don't lag and they don't stutter and they work like butter. Even when using multiple apps and doing multiple things on the phone, I've never faced many lags. The Facebook app does lag quite a bit, but that's mostly Facebook's problem. Phone heats up a lot. I can't even pressurize on how much it heats up. Sometimes it's so hot. I can't hold it, but it's really hot. Now you have a 3000 mAh battery on this phone, so you would expect great battery life, right? Yeah, no, don't expect that. The phone does not have terrible battery life, but it doesn't have good battery life either. One of the main disadvantages, according to me, is the battery life of this phone. I use this phone for 1 or 2 hours of Pokemon Go and I have almost drained the entire battery. Now, of course, since it's USB Type-C, it also charges very quickly. So let's say I put my phone on around 30% and an hour ago it's at around 80%. So it's a yin for the yang. And if you carry a power bank around, the phone will last an entire day. But if you don't, then you'll just not have to use it. Also, if you don't use it, then there's a problem because the standby time, no way. One day I charged my phone at 7 p.m. and then by 11 it was charged fully. And then I slept. I didn't put my phone on charge because I didn't want it to charge for the whole night because it was full. And when I woke up, it was like 59%. Almost half the battery went in just 7 hours of standby time. So yeah, no. Now the reason they have the USB Type-C instead of the 3.5mm jack is, of course, so the phone could be thinner and because they wanted to promote something called CDLA technology, which translates to fancy word for good audio in English. Now what this means is that the audio you would get is supposed to be very good and very loud. Now if it's supposed to have good audio, it should also have good speakers, right? All the speakers should work, right? It shouldn't be like 2 out of these 3 speakers don't work, right? Well, it is the case for the unit I have. On the bottom of the phone, you have 2 speakers and on them the left one doesn't work. And when someone calls you up, you cannot use this speaker because for some reason it doesn't work. It worked when I got it and 2 weeks later it didn't work. So should you get this phone? Well, kind of. The thing is, there are many other phones at this price market like the Redmi Note 3 and the Moto G4 Plus. Now to be honest, I say you pick the Redmi Note 3 over this one because of the battery and because the camera on the Redmi Note 3 is just slightly better. This is it for this video. If you liked it, press the like button. If you want to watch more videos like this, press the subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching. Meet you next time.